control to an extent, but at the same time, we're hoping everything goes well, and then hoping to get ready to go for next year. And then obviously, it's frustrating to end the season, especially the way I had been throwing towards the end. It's even more frustrating, but I think we caught it at a good time, and hopefully I can give myself ample opportunity to get back to where I need to be and be ready to roll for next year to, carry a pretty heavy workload, hopefully, and help the team win games.
You were pitching so well, and you gained Buddy's trust. You were 7th, sometimes even 8th inning guy, and then you didn't pitch as well. Fair to ask, was the elbow bothering you, and did that factor into you not being as sharp, the last whatever?
Yeah, last few weeks. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I'm never going to blame it on an injury or anything, but obviously it didn't feel great, and there was a point where I was trying to work through it and trying to kind of, make it happen, and we were working hard in the training room, and the training staff did a great job kind of keeping me feeling where I could compete. So I wouldn't say that was necessarily the reason for my struggles, but towards the end it definitely got to the point where it was annoying and it started to bother me when I was out there, and that's kind of when we decided it was time to maybe take some action on it.
Just looking at where it is, have you talked much to Tyler Kinley about him?
Yeah, so I've talked to TK, and I've talked to even Lamet a little bit. Lamet had PRP, I think he said, in 2020, and Chad Kuhl had PRP a few years back too. So I've been talking to those guys, talking about kind of the experience, what to expect. I don't think it doesn't sound very fun, but it's obviously, hopefully we can do everything right, and obviously avoiding surgery is the number one goal. And I think the doctors seem to be confident, and I feel like it's in a good spot, and I think I can hopefully rehab it and get back to 100% within the next few months.
So when you say avoid surgery, you mean Tommy John?
Yes. I mean, it's one of those things. As a pitcher, it's always obviously on the table. So for me, hopefully this PRP does great, and I think it's, from what the doctors say, it's in a good spot, and it should work out really well, and we should be able to rehab it and hopefully not have to worry about any of that stuff.
If it all works out, when do you pick up a ball and start your program?
I think the timing actually lined up about perfectly for a normal off season. So for me, I think I'd normally start throwing sometime around mid-November, early December, and I think we may push it up 2 weeks to maybe mid-November to be sure, and just kind of get things back on track. But the timing couldn't have lined up better in terms of my normal amount of time I'm going to take off, and then I give myself an extra 4 weeks, obviously at the end of the season, to allow the PRP to start to work and to start to rehab and hopefully kind of heal things up.
For someone who's never obviously gotten a PRP injection, what is that? We say it doesn't sound great. I can't imagine it's great knowing the beginning of it, but what goes on after that?
I'm a very analytical or intellectual person, if you will, so I had to do a lot of research and watch videos, and that didn't help me at all because I'm a thinker. But basically it's an ultrasound on, for me it'll be my elbow. They're going to go in with an ultrasound, and then they're going to take a needle. They're going to take blood from my right arm, transfuse it or whatever, and get the platelet-rich, I think it's platelet-rich molecules out of it or whatever. Yeah, so they can take it out, and then they're going to do an ultrasound on here so they can see inside and inject it into the UCL and the flexor.
Okay.
With the really big needle. No, I've already heard all this. That's what, yeah. No, I appreciate the honesty too, because, it's like I'd rather know it's going to hurt really bad. It's like getting a tattoo, right? I heard it hurt really bad, so I was pleasantly surprised when it didn't hurt very bad. If somebody told me the PRP didn't hurt and it hurt like crazy, I'd be upset.
So after you get it, what's the process? I mean, is it
So the weird thing about PRP is it sounds like after you get it, there's no rehab. It's do nothing.
Okay.
And I think the idea is there's going to be some swelling, there's going to be some inflammation, and the idea is I think it helps the body start to heal itself and kind of scar down on the ligaments and stuff that need to be scarred down, and kind of help the muscles that may be strained recover a little bit.
You have done research.
I've done a lot of research. I'm a critical person. So.
Yeah, you should be. It's your body,
when they
it's
gave me
your
my options,
career.
I wanted to make sure I had, we talked to, the staff here has obviously been awesome, and we talked to plenty of doctors. My agent set me up with the doctor, and, everybody seems pretty confident in us that this will be a good case for it.
Do you have the same doctor that,
Thanks, Lucas. Appreciate
Yeah, no problem.
Kinley had, the guy in Texas, or do you hope not to see that guy?
I hope not to see that guy. So thus far, it's been our team doctor here, I believe. A doctor in LA looked at my MRI, and then I think just a third party, non-biased. I think it's one of those things they want to make sure they've got a lot of eyes on it. So I think everybody seemed to be in agreement that it's a really good case for PRP, and hopefully it works out. Obviously the timing sucks, but being negative doesn't help me at all. So I'm just trying to be positive about, it's not a great situation, but it's better than some of the alternatives. So, we'll make it happen and hopefully be ready to go next year.
And then when you said your options were laid out for you, what were the other options that you could have gone with?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was one of those, surgery is obviously always an option, and they didn't recommend that by any means, but there's new procedures now I didn't know a whole lot about. They have like UCL bracing, they have flexor bracing. There's a lot of stuff they can do now in terms of like, if you have a little bit of damage, they can suture over it and stuff, but I didn't like those options. I don't like the experimental options. So for me, most of the doctors said it's not really a Tommy John situation, and PRP will probably be the perfect thing for it. So, there's no guarantees, especially in medicine, but hopefully it's the right thing. And in 8 weeks, 10 weeks, I'm feeling better and I'm ready to roll for next year.
Thanks. Well, I'm up the street from your facility if you need
Oh,
to catch
awesome.
it.
Yes,
I've got a
I'll let
mask.
you know. I'll let you know.
I might not be good, but I'll catch you.
Hey, that's all that matters, right? It's the effort that counts.